Hey guys, welcome to another Buckman's Model Mania video. Today I'm going to be going over talking a little bit about the Lisbon tram and diorama that I built. Most of it was built on the 8 Hobby Time Modelers Friday night builds and Sunday Funday streams. Been working on this model off and on here recently, probably about 4 months. Started it actually in 2016 when I first got the parts. It is two separate models. The tram itself, the tram came with instructions. The dio itself did not. The dio came with you can go onto a site called OcCre Mania to download the instructions. The instructions are pretty good, but the interesting part about the diorama is the facades. These parts right here are the only parts that are actually pre-cut. Everything else on this was on the dio was handmade, hand bent, hand painted, cut, taped, glued. It was an interesting build. It was a lot of fun, and I've got the got both the Berlin and the Turkey dios and trams that I will eventually do, but it's going to be a while because right now I am currently doing only already started models for 2023, trying to get some of the models down, trying to get some of the 14 models, now 13 models in work done so that I don't have so many in work. So let me go around the model a little bit, make sure do I have the right camera. Okay, that is actually the rear of the tram. You can see it here where it says exit. That's in I believe in Spanish, and you can see Goofy's nose where he's coming out. Didn't do these lights, didn't think about it. I've seen other people do them. It looks really cool. It was already very complicated just sorting out how to do the lights. I've knocked off the mirrors. This was a very intense build, to say the least. One thing that's kind of cool is this is currently attached. It is removable, but it's attached using just some brass wire running across the axles. Not sure if you can tell. You can see there is something inside the windows, but there's also lighting inside the diorama. That was something I decided I wanted to do. A little bit tricky at times, and the back is actually not fastened so that I'm able to move it around or repair anything that happens in there, because I actually had one of the wires come loose from one of the LED strip tapes. So let me pause just a second and I will move this camera a little bit and show a little bit more. So on the instructions it tells you to just put white paper, put the plastic for the windows and then white paper behind the windows. I didn't want to do that. You can see here in these windows up here that there is actually something you can see. You can't, because of the angle and the shutters or the blinds hanging over, you can't see well what it is. And same with the lower windows. But I thought it would be better to have something in there rather than just have them be plain white. I just went out and found some renovation pictures because, well, the renovation on the first floor on the ground floor on the first floor or second floor here in the States, there's a couple pictures. That's an actual apartment in Lisbon. Had a little bit of fun with that. The other pictures that we'll get to in a few minutes, the bar and the construction over the bar, those were the ones that came with the dio. And let me see if I can move the camera without making you too seasick. Like I said, you can see Goofy is in there. I did put people in there. The lights are the internal lights are all working. Let's see if I can get it. That light there, that one in the front and in the back were a royal pain in my behind, because at one time I actually had the tram roll off the desk and snap the cabs off. Let me move this a little bit. So it snapped here and same spot in the front, breaking those wires so that those wires for the LEDs in there were no longer connected. So let me switch to the other camera, and you can see, let me move this a little bit. You can see there, not very clearly, and that's by design, but this is actually a living room scene in there. It's got a lamp, and those are just pictures. You can see I've got some laundry there, and sorry about the electrical box is out of focus. Got the Rolling Stones. Though everything outside of the pictures in the windows came as part of the dial. Let me move back a little bit, see if it'll focus. It's not focusing very well. The brickwork there, I had to peel back the paper. This hand railing here was a royal pain in the behind. I have to say thank you to my wife, because the cobblestones here was actually something she had for her Disney village. That it was brown. She said she didn't need it, so I took it, I painted it. Actually, I just primered it, threw it on there, did some weathering on it with some black paint. I think it looks great. So let me pause just a second and move this camera a little bit better position. So there you can see inside the bar, and that was just a picture that came with the dial. Let me bring it up, and you can see some construction in there. Both of those areas are lit. It was one of these things of I thought it looked cool, but I wanted it to actually be lit. You can see the window down there under the street sign is lit as well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I pull power, it gets dark. You can still see it, but it's much darker. I really, it was an effect I wanted because it gives more life to the dial. So let me move this camera back. Sorry for the jerkiness. I'm pulling the tripod legs back out. You can see the one thing after the fact that I'm looking at, and I may eventually go back, is I've got that spire right there, that point at the top of the power pole here. I may eventually go back and run a wire. It's going to be interesting to be able to do it because I've got to run it on the outside of the pole, but I might run a wire up here and give the courtyard down there, right down there, a little bit of light, because when the lights are completely off, it goes, and I can't get it all the way dark, but it goes very dark when the lights are off. In a darkened room that is just really, really dark. Might actually go with something, might be easier to put a light up underneath here, pointing down there, but I don't want it to be blasting through the canopy there. So like I said, this is what I've been working on for a while. All said and done, it's been about 7 years in the making. A lot of fun, a lot of work, a lot of artistic I'm not sure how to put it, but I learned a lot, because like up here it said paint it this way with these colors. I'm like, well, these are the colors I've got. That's actually 3 different colors, and I love the way it came out. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys continue watching, and it is Sunday afternoon. We will be on tonight, or this afternoon, starting about 4 o'clock Eastern time. Hope to see you there. Have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow, or have a great day today and tomorrow. And we will catch you next time. Later.